I had just the scale.
Okay.
Do you want you?
Sure. Is live now?
Yeah.
Okay.
EJ's on.
All right. I'm waiting for everybody to join, and then we'll get started here. We have a new carrier full of something.
Kenna just sees food.
Hannah and Tate have been very nosy back here.
Yes.
How are we doing with numbers so far?
All right, they're getting there.
Getting there.
Yep.
All right. Did the mod share the link?
I'm assuming since people are on here, I'm assuming they showed the link. Is the link on? I'm assuming because all you guys are coming on. Joe said no, not yet. People got. All right, Joe said it's there now.
Okay.
Hopefully the link is there for everybody. A lot of people got notifications.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Spacey just says she just put the link in chat.
All right. All right. So, as you can see, we're in a little bit of a different place than we normally are. We have expanded even further. And we're now in my living room. So KKP has officially hit every room in my house. There is not a single room that is untouched by KKP at this point. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened today. It was like 7 o'clock this morning, 7 a.m. And I was awake. I've been bottle feeding and tube feeding the nursery kids. And so I was just browsing through Facebook, and I happened to see a post of someone who was asking for help. She was actually trying to give away this kitten, find a home for it. And when I first saw the kitten, I was like, that looks suspicious for something. But I thought, I saw the location. She was way up in North Jersey. There were a couple of rescues who had responded already that said, that they could help. People were encouraging her to go through a rescue. So I thought, it's fine. This kitten will be fine. She'll end up in a rescue. And then, I don't know, 20 minutes or so later, I get a Facebook message from a friend down here, rescuer down here, who said, "Hey, have you seen this kitten? Very suspicious of something." And I said, "Yeah, that was my first thought too." And she's like, "I'm reaching out to her to see." Then I get another Facebook message, and I get tagged multiple times. Kitkat Playroom gets tagged multiple times in this post. And I was like, okay, I guess I can't ignore this anymore. And then the finder, the woman who had made the original post, who had the kitten, messaged Kitkat Playroom and said, "Lots of people are recommending you. Like, is there any way you can help?" So at this point, I really can't say no. Obviously, they really wanted to come to us. So I'm going to show you. It's one kitten. I'm going to show you, and I want to see if you guys recognize what might be going on with this kitten. Does anybody notice anything different about this kitten than maybe a typical kitten? And Gma will have to tell me some of the responses.
Oh, they're guessing hydro.
Ah.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of guesses on their head wobbles. They're saying hydro.
Yeah, yeah, pretty classically hydrocephalus going on here. You'll see that the kitten has a pretty big dome head, forehead right here. Some sunset eyes going on. Those are two very classic signs of hydrocephalus. I think in person she even looks more suspicious for hydrocephalus than she did even in the pictures. When I saw her in person, I was like, oh yeah, ow, she bit me. Well, she has teeth. I think she's hungry. So yeah, so this little, she's, well, I gotta look at her teeth, but I was told about 4 to 5 weeks. Size wise, she looks to be about 4 to 5 weeks. I felt teeth, so I'm gonna have to check to see how many teeth she has come in. We'll try to get a more accurate age. So let me tell you a little bit about her background here. She actually, let me first see if this is a boy or a girl. Oh, it's a girl. Okay. All right, confirmed girl. So I have a name for her already. I had to call and make an appointment with Dr. Class for her. So I had to have a name for her already, and it's a name that's been in my pocket for a while because I really love this name. So I named her Sadie, and so I needed to make sure she was a girl before I announced that. But she is. She's definitely a girl. So her name is Sadie. She was found, so to back up a little bit, the woman who found her works at a warehouse. She described it as like very dirty, disgusting warehouse. And they feed some feral stray cats that hang around every morning. And they unfortunately have not had the opportunity or resources to get them fixed. And so they have had babies now and again. There's one male in particular who seems to be the father. And so there was a mother who gave birth to 2 kittens they had seen many weeks ago. And the mother then moved them, and they couldn't find them for several weeks. They had no idea where the kittens were. And then the kittens showed up again. And someone there was another sibling, one of the warehouse workers took that kitten home to keep. And the finder grabbed this kitten. She didn't want the kitten moved or lost again in this really nasty warehouse. So she bottle fed her for overnight, potted her, that sort of thing. But, she works on a regular basis. Like, she's not in a position to care for her long term. So that's why she was looking for another place for her to go. So it's very lucky actually that she did post, and that this kitten didn't end up in somebody's home who would have no idea about hydrocephalus, or that she needs to see a neurologist. And it just, the steps for her to get here happened to work in her favor. I happen to be contacted and have Dr. Glass in my pocket, and so I'm very grateful that she made her way here. There were a lot of chances for her to end up in the wrong hands and just not in a good situation. So so I just picked her up, brought her back down here. She looks like she's falling asleep.
She is. She's quite comfy.
I'm gonna check her teeth, and then I'm gonna get her weight, and then this will give us a better idea about her potential age. So let me see. You got all your canines and starting to get your molars. but not quite. So I'm going to say 4.5 weeks old. But let's get her weight to sort of confirm. 13.5 ounces. So that's a good weight.
That's a good weight.
It seems that so far she's done pretty well with her mom taking care of her. But this is one of those cases, you know, that when we talk about kitten snatching and, you know, leave them with the mom unless they need medical help. This is a case where she needs medical help. You know, having hydrocephalus, she needs to have medical attention and be seen by a neurologist. And she really would not have been safe to stay in that warehouse, even with a mom taking care of her. So, so this is one of those cases where I'm glad that she was kind of snatched because we can get her some help. All right, so I'm gonna put her in our playpen back here, her new home, and I'm gonna see her walk around a little bit and see if she eats this food. She has not been introduced to solid food yet at all, so we'll see kind of if she is interested in that at all. Oh, she's going for it.
Oh, yeah.
She is wobbly.
She is wobbly, yeah.
That looks like more wobbles than would be normal for her age. So I think that's due to the hydrocephalus. Some symptoms of hydrocephalus can mimic CH in some ways, like their balance and their gait can be off, especially if they have some pressure build up in their head. Oh, she's definitely loving that.
Very good. Eat up, little girl.
She's a little confused. There you go. There you go. She's chewing the edge of the bowl like most kittens do when they first start. So she should be old enough that she's going to the bathroom on her own. We have a little litter box here for her. We'll see. Again, sometimes when they have neurological conditions, they can be delayed in some behavioral milestones. So, you know, she might be a little delayed trying to use the litter box, which is why we have a lot of pee pads on the floor. So if she does end up having some accidents, that's okay. Here we go, in the middle. Oop. There you go. She's purring.
Of course, Tate has been trying her darndest to get to the food.
Yeah. Chima was putting all the food down while I was going to pick her up, and she said Tate was trying to get in there to get to the food. So it's going to be a little challenging to keep Tate away from this. Found the water. Oh, she found the kibbles. Oh, she likes the kibbles. Oh.
Oh, good.
So our appointment is next Wednesday with Dr. Glass. Unless she's having some sort of neurological crisis, I expect that he will say the same thing that he usually does, which is she's too small to do an MRI. We need to wait until she gets bigger. Oh, but I didn't check her for any soft spots on her brain, so I need to do that. I'll wait till she's done eating there. If sometimes kittens with hydrocephalus, often they have open fontanelles, which is a soft spot on their head or more. They can have more than one. And it's just an area where their skull did not fully close after they were born. And if they do have an open fontanelle, a neurologist is able to perform an ultrasound through that open space in their skull and view the brain to diagnose hydrocephalus. So there's sort of a window of time if they have an open fontanelle before it closes, where even if they are less than 2 pounds, they don't need any sedation for it, so they can get diagnosed. So I'll check her head for anything like that. Wyatt does not have any soft spots, which is why we were not able to view his brain yet. Tate did have actually 3 soft spots on her brain or on her skull when she was little, and so Dr. Glass was able to do an ultrasound through her open fontanelle and diagnose hydrocephalus at a young age in Tate. So we'll have to see with Sadie. Oh, all right, let's see. Let me feel your head. Okay, let's feel. I don't feel any obvious. Oh, there's a little, this feels like there's a little spot right here. There's a little open spot right here.
She thinks she's getting petted.
Yeah, she has a little, I don't know if it's big enough to do an ultrasound or not, but that, again, that's a third big indicator that she does have hydrocephalus. So we got 3 pretty big, oh look, I think she's playing. 3 pretty big symptoms: the large dome forehead, sunset eyes, and an open fontanelle. So she's definitely up there in the 90s percentage wise as far as chances of her having hydrocephalus. It's pretty high up there. She's doing really well though. The fact that she's eating on her own right now is pretty huge.
Yes, sure bet. She does have a snuggle bunny there waiting for her.
Yeah. Yeah, she has quite a bit of space here. She is in quarantine right now because she was just rescued from the warehouse yesterday. Of course, we don't know what kind of diseases or illnesses she was exposed to. So she does need to stay in quarantine away from other kittens for at least the next 2 weeks. After that, we'll have to kind of play it by ear. It definitely depends on her health and her neurological status, whether it's safe for her to be around other kittens. If you all were around when Tate was a baby, Tate had pretty large open fontanelles, so there was a fear that if she was with other kittens, they would be wrestling and they would bite her head, and there would be no protection between, you know, a kitten's teeth and her brain. And so, you know, Tate was only allowed supervised short visits with other kittens for her safety. And so we'll just have to see, oops, we'll have to see with Sadie, you know, what is safe for her. But for at least the next 2 weeks, she'll be in this area here, and I'll be watching her pretty closely and making sure that there are no neurological episodes that we need to kind of rush her to the vet. If anything does happen before next Wednesday, Red Bank is a full emergency veterinary center. So, oh, baby.
Aww.
Yeah. So I'm able to bring her up right away if that's the case and get her through emergency. But so far, I don't really see any critical things going on. She definitely does have the wobblies, though.
Yeah.
Look, she's playing again. You like to play, huh? You like to play. There's oop. That's your potty. That's your potty. Are you lost? Come here. Come here. Come here. I feel like I might have a pocket kitten. If she does that when I'm sitting down here, she's going to be in my lap. I might need to get a sling for you. It's not, even though she's in quarantine, it's not quite as serious protecting her from my cats because my cats are fully vaccinated. That's she's not allowed to necessarily mix with them. Like I wouldn't want them using the same litter box and that sort of thing, but it's much different than her being exposed to like the younger kittens that haven't even had any vaccinations yet. She's very cute. Have there been any questions from anyone?
Oh, they all fell in love with her. No, don't know that's the question, but then if we could answer it as you were talking.
You want? I'll take this and then I'll look for any questions that somebody might have, and then if you want to pet her, you can.
I got a little sore.
Okay. All right. I am in charge of the camera now. Does anybody have any questions for me? She will not have snugglers yet.
Hi, baby.
I will be her snuggler.
Hi, baby. Hi, my baby. Yeah, you too, Tate. I know. Yeah, Grandma sees you too. Yeah. Hi, boo boo.
It's possible her vision is affected. Sometimes they can have some vision problems, but I wouldn't say that she is blind. That's pretty rare. But, you know, something like Tate where she has some issues with distance and things like that, that could be possible.
Look at you. Look at you, boo. Yes, you are.
It's not likely that she has hydrocephalus and CH. That's not very likely. It's likely that she's wobbly because of the hydrocephalus.
I see it. Yes, I do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, once her quarantine is done, I'm not sure what our plan is. I think it just kind of depends on what the kittens are like upstairs, what she's cleared for, as far as her doctor clears her. So I can't say yet where she's going to go. She'll definitely be exposed to other cats when her vet says it's okay and when it's safe to do so.
I haven't introduced her to her bed yet.
Well,
Don't step in the pool.
when I was first contacted, I was told that she was being bottle fed, so I was a little worried about my sleep. But seeing the way that she's eating right now, I'm not quite as worried. I think that I think she'll do fine eating on her own.
Yeah, is that nice and soft for you? Yeah, that's your bed. That's your bed. Yes, it is. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Tate really wants this food.
Oh, yeah. You have to watch it.
I am gonna have to watch it.
No tape. Yeah. We have to have a grandma kiss. Yeah. Had to have a grandma kiss. Yeah, I see. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Whoop.
Ooh, nice little jump. Hop, hop, hop.
How cute. Yes, Tate is right here. She will not be on camera right away. I'll try to get pictures and videos. I'll probably make an album soon for her, so I can post stuff there, but I'll certainly be posting her on the socials. Okay. Look at her eating. She'll be weighed every night. That'll happen. So you guys will get to see how she does weight-wise. It's likely going to be the same deal as Wyatt, where we want her to be at least 2 pounds for an MRI. If they can't do the ultrasound through her open fontanelle and officially diagnose her with hydrocephalus, then likely Dr. Glass will want to do an MRI. Because, we just need to make sure that there isn't some other condition that we're missing and misdiagnosing her. So we need some kind of method to diagnose her. There definitely are different severities of hydrocephalus. There isn't like a formal grading system, but you could definitely classify different versions as mild or moderate or severe. The fact that she is able to eat on her own and walk around on her own definitely looks like she's not severe. Severe hydrocephalus kittens often need help eating. They often are not able to walk around. They actually have some severe limitations, but she looks like she is not quite that bad. But we really can't say until we get the imaging from her. I saw a question just now. Does every hydro kitty need a shunt? That's a really good question. So a shunt is a contraption that is surgically implanted in their brain. Tate has one. You might be able to see her sort of, I don't know if you can, I freaked her out. She has like a bump on the back of her, on the top of her head, which is the shunt valve. Basically what happens is with hydrocephalus, there is an overproduction of cerebral spinal fluid. All brains have cerebral spinal fluid in them, and that's what prevents your brain from collapsing on itself. And most brains will just produce the amount necessary to keep your brain essentially inflated. But with hydrocephalus, the body doesn't have that shut off. And so it overproduces the cerebral spinal fluid. And their body is not able to eliminate it fast enough. So it builds up in their brain, which is why you see this sort of bulging head, is because there's more fluid in there than should be. Because usually the first step in treating hydrocephalus is medication. As long as the kitten is not in any kind of crisis, which I don't think she is right now, they typically will start her on medication. And there's a medication called omeprazole. You might have heard of it as an over-the-counter med that people use for heartburn and things like that, but it actually has an off-label use for hydrocephalus in cats and dogs. And what it does is it reduces the amount of cerebral spinal fluid that is produced. Sometimes there is a steroid that's added, which just reduces any kind of inflammation in the brain. And in many cases, that's all that's necessary. The medication, they do need to stay on for their lives. But many times the omeprazole in particular reduces the amount of production enough that they're able to live fully happy lives without any kind of surgical intervention. So that's usually the first thing to try. An MRI is required to even see if they're a shunt candidate. So even cats with severe hydrocephalus might not be shunt candidates just based on how the hydrocephalus presents in their brain. So you need a MRI just to determine whether they're even shunt candidates. But the reason you would consider a shunt is when the medication is not working. So despite being on omeprazole and steroids, the kitten continues to have some pretty bad neurological issues, and it's clear that the pressure is too much in their brain, and so at that point is when you would consider a shunt. So it's definitely not for every kitten, and it's probably not even for most hydrocephalus cats. I would say most are able to be managed through medication. And that would be ideal because of course shunt placement is very risky brain surgery, and we don't want her to have to go through that if it's not necessary. So one thing that I would say probably will happen is from next Wednesday, again, is her neurology visit. Probably Dr. Glass, looking at her visually, I think probably would agree she presents as having hydrocephalus. He will probably start her on omeprazole. It can be started as early as 4 weeks or so old. So she could definitely start on that, and we can see if she responds to that. What other questions do you guys have? You're okay. I've seen one rescue who used a helmet, but it was also a very special case. He had something more serious going on with his brain, and there was like a large hole in his skull. So it wasn't necessarily the hydrocephalus. I've never seen a helmet used just for hydrocephalus. Shaw's does not intake new hydro cats. They haven't in quite a while. But yeah, she has nothing to do with Shaw's. Yeah, it might be common in people, but not in cats. She's very, very cute. I'm glad she's here. Her rescuer was very knowledgeable, used all the right supplies. She had her on a heating pad and was puttying her and gave her kitten formula. And so, she, in the last day, 24 hours or so since she was rescued, she's definitely been taken good care of. Yeah, I'm really glad she's here. I think that we can help her, and she will thrive here. She has not had any seizures that anyone has witnessed. Seizures are definitely not uncommon for cats with hydrocephalus. But so far, we haven't seen any from her. Okay, I think she looks like she might be settling down a little bit, maybe for a nap. So I'm gonna end this live. If you joined late and you missed things, this will be saved to the channel. You can go back and watch it from the beginning. There's a lot of information I covered in case you missed it. So I do encourage, if you missed things, to go back and watch. And be patient. We're not going to have PSAs ready yet for the mods. We need some time for the mods that write the PSAs to get everything together. It's a lot of information to get together, so please be patient, and if you're able to help the mods, answer questions about her, that's helpful too. Yes. Thank you for the CC, Spacey. I'm so glad you were available for that today. You are awesome at it. And thanks for joining, everyone. Say bye, Sadie.